Okay. Hello. Thank you so much for hopping on with us.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. So my name's Haley Price, and I'm a double diamond for those of y'all who are on Darian's team and don't know me. So if you will just start by kind of telling us your story, when you got started, all that good stuff.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so basically I joined in January 2017. Yes. I had just graduated high school, and it was like my second semester in college. I was 18, and I got like the freshman 15. And because I was a hardcore like student athlete in high school, and then college came, I didn't work out at all. And so I got the freshman 15, and I saw somebody posting about the wraps, and I was super, super interested in them. So I reached out to her. I knew her from, like, we lived in the same town. So I reached out to her about the wraps, and she was like, she offered me the like loyal customer price. And then she did the basic, like, oh, well, it's 59, originally 100, so you're getting a really good deal. And I was like, no, I'll just pay 100. And she was like, are you sure? Because you're getting a really good deal. And I was like, no, I'll just do 100. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then later that night, she was like, actually, would you be interested in like doing this with me? You'll still be able to get your wraps for $100 because they come in the starter kit. And she's like, and you'll make money doing it too. And at the time, along with being a college student, for nursing, by the way, I was going for nursing. I was also a nanny and then a nurse's assistant. So I was working 2 jobs, and I was going back and forth between hours. And so I don't know how I wasn't making ends meet with 2 jobs, but I obviously wasn't. And so I was like, okay, some extra money. Totally. And so I signed up, and I literally had no idea what I was doing. I don't know marketing like whatsoever. I don't know business like whatsoever. And I kind of just like listened to her. She was like, okay, this is going to be your first post. The basic, I joined a business, like, or I started my business, and I posted that, and it literally just took off from there. I remember not knowing anything about the products, and honestly just always having my like tab open on my phone and just reading the product info. And ignorance on fire. It's so weird because I always hear other people saying that, and now I'm saying it. And I'm like, ignorance on fire. And so then I went executive my first month, and that when I saw that paycheck, I was like, okay, like this can actually be real money and it can go somewhere. So then I stuck with it, and I sat at Ruby for about 7 months. And then January of last year, I went Emerald, got $1,000 rank up Emerald while we were in the stands at conference. And that was like insane for me. When I got that bonus, I quit my day job. And I was like, this is going to be my full-time thing. Like, I had 100% faith in it after seeing what it did for me at conference, like learning at conference. And I was like, okay, this is what it's going to be. I want to be a full-time student and not have to work. So I was working 7 to 7 at the time, so 12-hour shifts. It was awful. And then in June or July, I promoted to Diamond, getting that rank up bonus. And then in October to double, getting that rank up bonus. And I am currently going for triple this month.
Yay, so exciting. Okay, so I've never heard your full story, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the first question I have is, you said that you sat at Ruby for like 6 or 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what do you feel like kind of clicked, or what finally got you to Emerald after sitting at Ruby for that long?
Running with my runners, like 100%. Because when I was at Ruby, I had been working off the chart that I had built from day one, meaning I was rebuilding people who didn't work, meaning I was rebuilding people who like left. And it was taking me forever because I was constantly just like replacing that volume with someone that wasn't helping me do it. And then I remember, I'm pretty sure I was talking to Morgan, and I was like, I would so much rather have this person be my Ruby for Emerald than this person. She's like, well, they can. And that was the game changer for me, because then I was like, okay, bye everybody who doesn't work, bye. And I full on just put like all of my faith and all of my efforts into the people who did work. and I brought them up, and now one of them is on the Zoom, and she's my double for triple.
That's so awesome. Okay, so letting go of that dead weight, and it probably set you back some boxes, but it actually came together so much faster because you were working with real people who wanted it with you.
Yeah, when I tell my team about it, I always tell them, because like you said, it does bring you back a little bit, but I'm like, in the end, you want to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so I have some questions that my team submitted for you. So
yes.
Okay, so the first one is, what does your daily schedule look like? And do you have a task list that you follow every day?
I do. It is downstairs though, but basically I will wake up every morning and I will do some sort of self-development. I'm reading 3 different books right now. Reading You Are a Badass at Making Money, You're a Badass Every Day, and then Girl Wash Your Face. And I will either wake up and listen to one of those, or I'll listen to Denise Walsh or Pam Souter's podcasts.
You're going to hurt yourself.
I love Pam Souter's podcasts because she always has the top 10, 50 on them. But if I'm not listening to anything, I journal every day too. So even before I check my phone, because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I fall asleep, just because I don't want to be up on it, and I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up and have to immediately think I need to start working. So I keep it on Do Not Disturb, and I'll wake up and I'll go straight to my journal. And my journal entries just start off with something simple, today you are going to sign 200 in volume. This is what you're going to sign. And I break down what I want to sign. And then journaling just turns into so much more than that, because then it turns into, by signing this, you're going to get this filled, and by getting that filled, you're going to hit this promotion, and when you hit this promotion, that means you're going to go buy a car. So that's usually how it always starts. It always starts with my why. So yeah, self-development, and then from there, I make a to-do list in my planner every day. And so my to-do list always have my must-haves, which is posting, unsending, resending, follow-ups, adding to my hundreds list, or I like to call it my potentials journal, and then filling Captivate. I always make sure my Captivate is above 1,000 in the pending actions. So I will not get any other tasks done until I make sure my Captivate is above 1,000 in actions. And then I save messaging for last, because I want to make sure everything else is done before I send my messages. That way I'm not in a rush, going back and forth between Captivate and trying to answer messages. And messaging is my very last thing I do. And then I usually do that in the beginning of my day to get everything done. And then I am a student still, so then I like to go to the library and do my homework because I know if I do it at home, it probably won't happen because I'll just find something better to do. So I'll head to the library, do some homework, and then honestly, my day is completely free after that. I use my planner a lot because I like to write down my planner. And if I do have something to do that day, I can revolve my time around that. So for example, today I went to work out and then I had the Zoom. So on my planner, I wrote 7 p.m. because I'm on Mountain Time, Zoom, and then 9 a.m. workout. And then I'm able to revolve my tasks and my homework around that. So basically, I have a really free schedule and I'm not very social, so it's not like I go out or anything. But as for work schedule, those are the top things I make sure is done. Then everything else kind of floats out throughout the day. If I have a lot more time in my day, say I don't work out or have any homework to do, then I just repeat the tasks that I did before. So I just repeat it all day.
Awesome. So the next question was, what's your favorite personal development, which you touched on? And I love that you mentioned journaling because I've been doing that. Ashley Mayfield actually mentioned that to me at the Michigan Green Carpet, which is where we met. And that's made a huge difference for me as well.
Yeah, I heard it on the Katie Bevington podcast with Pam Souter, and that's what I do every day.
Yeah, it's super, super helpful. Okay, so the next question is, how do you enroll most of your customers? So are you working mostly on Instagram or Facebook?
I use Instagram just because I'm a lot more familiar with using Instagram, and I've had my Facebook since like 2009, and I'm still in the midst of deleting all the random people I accepted in high school. But I mainly use Instagram just because I absolutely, like, I know exactly where to find something if I need it. And I have a lot of fun searching locations on Instagram on the places since we are a global company. So I remember I've typed in like places in London on Instagram, and it's so fun because I'll just go down I'll go down the entire list of pictures that pop up, and that's what I'll use to fill my Captivate. So I really like that. I really like using Instagram, and I like Instagram because I like to unsend and resend my messages.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so you don't do any like host to post or anything like that. You're doing pretty much.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I was actually using host to post on Facebook. I still use host to post on Facebook, but one day I just gave it a shot to try Instagram because a lot of my my market is like college students.
Yeah.
And mainly college students use Instagram more than they use Facebook. So it was reaching a bigger audience with using Instagram. And basically, I just do the exact same thing. I will send them a picture to post. If it's for the keto coffee, I'll have like a cute like Pinterest picture of the coffee. And then with the caption, like same exact caption you would use on Facebook. Like, my friend Darian is looking for coffee models. If you or someone you know drink coffee, comment below. And they do the exact same thing, comment, and then I'll message them. Because a lot of people get surprised when they find out I use Instagram. And I'm like, it's honestly like the same thing. Yeah. It's just they need to post a picture with it.
Okay, cool. So that's a good tip because that's not something that I've ever really tried before. So I might have to try that and see how it works.
Yeah. One that works really, really well for me, this helped me sign like the majority of my LCs in January, is I've used a results picture, like a decently well results picture, and I'll have them post that, and I have them just say, hey, my friend Darian is looking for someone who wants to do a $25 weight loss challenge. And then they'll message me, and then from there I mention the fat fighters, but then I'm like, but if you want actual weight loss, then I amp it up, and it turns into not only a host to post sale, but an upselling as well.
Awesome. So you're getting higher BV orders that way.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so do you focus on interacting with your followers? Like, do you like and comment on their stuff before you're messaging them?
Yes, that is part of my little power hour process. So I'll build my Captivate, and then I'll let my follow request just sit in my pending for a while. And then I'll put about like 15 minutes. It depends on how many is in my requests, but usually it's a fair amount. So like 15 minutes, and I'll just sit and I'll go through every person in my follow request. That way too, I'm able to filter out like if someone's like creepy, or if they're like a middle schooler. And I will go through and I will like the first 3 of their pictures, or if they have like a selfie, I'll comment. And then I will do that until every single person in my follow request is done. And then I'll accept them, and then I'll message them.
Okay, perfect. So do you sell samples on Instagram ever, like of the coffee or anything?
Yeah, I have. Usually I don't advertise it much, but when somebody is like interested in the keto coffee and they can't do the full month's worth, and then I bring it down to the 15 days worth, which is 39, and they still can't do that, then I bring it down to the samples, and I'm like, okay, well, would you want like 4 for 15 or like 5 for 15? Usually I do 5 for 15 just because I have like a lot, and I want them to see results, because I don't think you can really see results off of like 3. And so I usually do, I'll do samples for that. And I send out a lot of samples for my host to post, because I know a lot of people, when they do host to post, they'll send out for every order someone gets them. I just do it for every comment they get, and I'll send them samples, because I've had a lot of people who have gotten samples from the host to post and end up ordering because they want more or something.
Yeah, so that's helping you get more customers that way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. That's not on the list. That's for me. Okay, so you've been doing this for about 2 years now, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you been through a point in your business where, you struggled mentally and had like a low point with that, and how did you overcome that?
Okay. Yes, I have, like multiple times, but you'll learn that got to get down, get up. quoting Mark kind of costs it. But yeah, so when I've gotten down and I'm keep getting no's, like nobody's even replying, I haven't signed like an LC once this month, I will put my phone away and I will go straight to self-development. I will write out what is wrong, why I think it's wrong. I find the root of my problem, and then I write strategies to fix that problem. So, for example, I even told my girls this today because I have signed an LC in a week or so, and I went to look at my potentials journal, and there's not that many names in my journal, and so I was like, there's my problem right there. There's not enough names there, meaning I'm not messaging enough because I'm not talking to enough people, because if I was, there would be a whole lot more names there.
Yeah.
So just basically figuring out what your problem is and what you can do to fix it. But if you're really, really down, I tell my girls, I'm like, if you need a day away from your phone, get away from your phone. I like to go on walks with my dog. Some days I will literally just clean the house and have Rachel Hollis on blast, and that will be my self-development. I won't check my phone. I'll check my phone to reply to text, but I won't be scrolling on Instagram or anything, because that day is just all about me and to figure out what my goals are and then to do my why.
I love that. That's so good.
And I like to get really crafty too. So if I'm having a self-development day, I'll make a month dream board.
Yeah.
We have dream boards, but I like to make one for every month.
Yeah.
And that gets my mind off of a lot too, because I like being all crafty with stickers and all of that.
I wish I was crafty. I am not. So I love that.
They're not pretty. I just like to use it.
Yeah. This light went off. Hopefully my car battery is not dying. That would be bad. It hasn't been that long, so hopefully we're good. Okay, so I know that you're always traveling, which I travel a lot too, and I love watching your journey on Instagram. So do you have any tips for when you're traveling, how you're still able to work this business?
That is really funny, because I just got back from Mexico 2 days ago. So while you're traveling, if you are in the States and you still have data, that's awesome. I will get to the airport about an hour early. They say to get there an hour early anyways, but I like to make sure I get there an hour early, because I will power hour before I get on my plane. I will reply to all my messages just to make sure that everybody knows, hey, I'm about to get on a plane. I will get to you as soon as I get off. So that's what I start every trip out with. And then usually, when I went to New York, because we did a lot of sightseeing in New York, while everybody else was getting ready for their day, I was sitting at the desk making sure I got all of my important tasks done for the day, which was my posting, my fill and captivate, and all of that, and making sure I get my messages done early. That way, throughout my day, we went to see the 9/11 museum, and I just looked down to check my phone, and it's just replies at that point. So I don't have to worry and be oh no, I wasn't able to post today or something like that, because I already did that morning when everybody else was still waking up and doing their thing. I would wake up about 45 minutes earlier than everyone else. That way, just if you're with someone who doesn't get ready, that way it just gives you that extra time. And then that way you can enjoy your day on vacation, just reply to messages and how you would your friend. Say someone replies to you and they're how do you get into this? It's just an easy reply, and you share your story, and how you would be texting your friend, hey, how are you? This is how I am. But then I got back from Mexico where I didn't have data, and it was basically just the same thing. Make sure my hotel had Wi-Fi, and waking up 45 minutes before anybody else, doing my tasks while I had Wi-Fi at my hotel. And then that was kind of harder to reply to messages, because if we went out, I didn't have data. But if we came back to the hotel, I just told them, I'm sorry, I've been out all day, but I'm back now. Let's talk.
Yeah.
And I had all my replies waiting for me.
Yeah. So you're just being super intentional, and you can apply that also to someone who maybe works a full-time job and can't be on their phone throughout the day.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
what I did as well. When my husband and I were in Europe, I would just wake up before he did and get some stuff done, so I didn't feel guilty about it the rest of the day. Yeah. So those are really good tips. Okay. I'm so bad at checking the chat, so let me see. If you guys have any other questions, you can put them in the chat, but do you want to just leave us with a few minutes of inspiration, just anything else that you want to share to inspire everybody on here?
Do you mind if I go get my journal real quick and I can share?
No, go for it.
I'll be like 5 seconds.
Okay. So if you guys have any questions for her, just put them in the chat and we will ask them. I really hope that my car battery did not.
Okay, can't find it, but it's fine.
That's okay.
Okay, so basically a big thing I would have to say is keep your blinders on and remember what it's like to go back to square one. Because I know a lot of us, when we're trying to promote, we start off with like the first of every month, like, okay, these are my goals this month. I'm going to sign this many LCs. I'm going to sign this many DTs, and I'm going to promote to this rank. Well, as it happens to every single person in this business, we'll go throughout the month, and where you started on the first tends to get lower and lower because you see everything else. Like you see other people are signing this and you're not. You see that this person is about to promote and you're comparing yourself, and you just get all of the background, like you get all of the background, I like to call it background noise in your head, and you lose sense of where you started. Like you lose sense of, this was my goal this month, like maybe I should make my goal smaller. No, don't make your goal smaller. Keep your goal what it was on the first, even if you're having a tough 2nd through 25th of the month. Don't let the background noise get to it. Just sit down and think back to, okay, who was I on the first of the month? And be like, that is who I am on the 15th of the month now. And literally just blinders on, like looking straight ahead, can't look back, can't look to the side, because it is you and it is your promotion. Nobody else is relevant to it besides you. So I don't think that.
So good. Yes.
What do I do if no one answers me? If no one answers me, I have a follow-up process. So if I'm on Instagram and I'm messaging someone and I send the initial product model script, and they usually reply with what type of products, and then I send them the basic script, and they don't reply to me either within that conversation or after that message. 2 days later, I will unsend and resend that same message. If they leave me on red again, I'll text them another 2 days after that, and I'm like, hey, it's me. I have this many discount spots left. Would you be interested in having one? Just let me know. And most people respond to me after I send them that third message. But then if they still don't respond to me, I will message them a week later, and I can send Haley all of these scripts that I use too, but I'll message them a week later, and I'm like, hey, are interested anymore? Just let me know. I'd hate to waste either of our time. And then I definitely 80% here after that one. But if they still don't respond to me, then I reply 3 weeks later, and I'm like, anything to offend you or make you upset, not being interested anymore. And then at that point, they usually feel bad. And they're like, oh no, you didn't upset me. I was just really busy. And then they either by then tell me if they're still interested or not. But I go through a process, and I will keep messaging them until they message me back. So if they don't respond to you on the first one, just go again and again and again if you have to.
Yes, follow up until you die. Okay, so there was one that came through private to me. She said that she's a full-time student athlete. She has practice every day and homework. Just wondering strategies that she can still fit this business in and be successful even with her super busy schedule.
Okay, totally. That's funny because one of my girls on here is also a full-time student and an athlete. So same thing as vacationing. If you can wake up and do your power hour as soon as you wake up, that is, I guarantee you, the most beneficial thing if you do it as soon as you wake up. Because if you're trying to do it in between practice and in between classes, it's probably not going to go as smoothly because you'll be trying to send messages while walking to class, and like somebody will respond to you wanting to place an order, and it's just all jumbled up. So definitely I would say start your days off with your power hour. That way the rest of your day you can focus on class and practice, and then maybe in between class and practice, reply to messages, maybe make a couple story posts. What I do with my story posts is I just save them in an album on my phone, and I can easily just access my phone and post a story, and it takes like 2 seconds because all of my pictures are already there in the album. So I think the easier tasks you can definitely do in between class and practice, like I said, the replying, posting on stories, you can interact for like 5 minutes. I'm surprised because when you interact for 5 minutes, you actually get a lot further than you would think. I remember I've like interacted for 2 minutes and I was on like my 20th picture and I was like, wow, there's still 3 minutes to go. So interacting, you get really far with 5 minutes. And then for homework wise, I actually just asked my team this the other day because I got back from Mexico and I haven't done any homework, so I'm turning in everything late. But I asked them, I was like, I have a lot of homework to do. What are the tips? And what has worked out best for me when it's like a cram homework night, I will do 1 hour power hour and then put my phone completely away and then focus on homework. I will either do like homework for a straight hour and get several little assignments in, or I will focus on like one big homework project and get that entire thing done. And then I'll go back and check my phone and reply to messages. So I did that yesterday at the library. I did 1 hour of power hour, 1 hour of homework, and then I just went back and forth because I don't have a schedule. So I just stayed at the library like all day.
That's awesome. Those are really good tips. Okay, so that is all the questions that I have. So any last words? I know you already kind of.
Did everybody earn these rank up bonuses on the 28th? Because it's February. But I'm super excited, and thank you seriously so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your tips with us. It was so good to hear your story. So thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Hope you have an awesome night. Bye, guys.
You too. Bye.